If I told you there were warriors so deadly, their enemies feared them before a single blade was drawn. Warriors who didn't just fight battles, they rewrote history. Across time and continents, a few elite warrior groups carved their names into legend. These weren't just soldiers, they were masters of fear, strategy, and unbreakable will. From the silent assassins of Japan to the ironclad ranks of Sparta and the unstoppable riders of Mongolia, their legacy echoes across the century. Today, we uncover the secrets of three of the most terrifying warrior classes the world has ever known. The ninjas, invisible agents of death and deception. The Spartans, relentless warriors forged from childhood. And the Mongols, thundering across empires on horseback. Each one changed the course of history. But how? And why do their stories still captivate us today? From the shadowed alleyways of feudal Japan to the sun-scorched plains of Greece and the endless steppes of Mongolia, we'll trace the origins, training, battlefield tactics, and brutal philosophies of these legendary fighters. This is more than just a history lesson. This is a journey into the minds of warriors who became myths. In feudal Japan, the ninja, also known as the shinobi, were a class of warriors who lived in the shadows, performing tasks that were too dishonorable for the samurai. Ninjas were masters of espionage, sabotage, assassination, and guerrilla warfare. Unlike their samurai counterparts, who adhered to the Bushido code of honor, ninjas operated outside these strict codes, focusing on efficiency, stealth, and survival. The training of a ninja began from a young age, typically in secretive villages or remote mountain fortresses. They were trained not only in hand-to-hand combat, but also in stealth, sabotage, and psychological warfare. Ninjas learned to move in silence, blend into their surroundings, and strike when least expected. Their most iconic weapons included the katana, shuriken, throwing stars, smoke bombs, and even poisons, all designed for quick, effective combat. One of the key strategies of the ninja was their ability to remain unseen. This wasn't just about being physically hidden, it was about psychological manipulation. The ninja would strike fear into their enemies by attacking at night, leaving behind cryptic signs, or even using psychological tricks to create confusion. Their mission was often to destabilize and cause chaos, making it easier for their employers or allies to take control. The ninja's role was often that of a spy. In a time of intense feudal conflict, intelligence was crucial. A ninja would infiltrate enemy lines, gather vital information, and sometimes eliminate key figures in enemy camps. The ability to move through hostile territory without being detected made them indispensable in the political landscape of feudal Japan. Ninjas were also highly skilled in using the environment to their advantage. Whether they were climbing walls, scaling rooftops, or disappearing into forests, their agility and knowledge of terrain allowed them to evade capture and outmaneuver even the most well-trained samurai. They were, in many ways, the precursors to modern-day special forces and intelligence operatives. While the samurai followed the Bushido code, which was based on honor and discipline, ninjas were much more pragmatic. They were trained to succeed at any cost, often using trickery, deceit, and even assassination to fulfill their objectives. In battle, they were resourceful and unpredictable, sometimes using unconventional tactics like attacking from the shadows or feigning retreat to lure their enemies into ambushes. Despite their reputation for dishonor, the ninja played a crucial role in the survival of their clans and their employers. In times of war, they were indispensable for gathering intelligence, sabotaging enemy supplies, and assassinating key leaders. Their efforts often ensured that their allies maintained the upper hand, even in the face of overwhelming odds. The legend of the ninja has been romanticized and exaggerated throughout history, especially in popular culture. However, their true legacy lies in their ability to adapt, think strategically, and survive against all odds. Today, the image of the ninja remains as one of stealth, skill, and deadly precision, an enduring symbol of silent warriors who shaped the course of history through the shadows. Now we turn to the ancient Greeks, specifically the Spartans. Unlike the ninjas' clandestine methods, the Spartans were renowned for their openness, discipline, and valor. Spartans were born into a society that revered strength, courage, and warfare. From the moment they could walk, Spartan children were raised to become warriors. Their society was based around the principle that every individual should serve the state above all else. At the age of 7, Spartan boys were sent to undergo the agoge, an intense and grueling training program designed to break down their wills and remold them into perfect soldiers. The agoge was designed to teach discipline, endurance, and loyalty to the Spartan state. These young warriors endured harsh physical tests, were often forced to endure hunger, and were taught to fight in teams, emphasizing unity over individual glory. The Spartan army was unique in that every soldier was trained in the same way, and all men in the army were considered equals. This created an elite force where every man understood his role and relied on his comrades. One of the Spartans' most famous tactics was the Phalanx, a tightly knit battle formation where soldiers stood shoulder to shoulder, using their shields to form an impenetrable wall. The Spartan ideal was that warriors should fight as a single, cohesive unit. When they went into battle, each Spartan knew that their life depended on the man next to them. The bonds of brotherhood in Spartan society were stronger than familial ties. This sense of unity and mutual respect made the Spartans one of the most formidable fighting forces in history. One of the most famous battles involving the Spartans was the Battle of Thermopylae in 480 BC, where King Leonidas and just 300 Spartans held off the Persian army, which numbered in the hundreds of thousands. Though they were ultimately defeated, their stand became a symbol of bravery and sacrifice. The story of the 300 Spartans is remembered as one of the greatest acts of valor in military history. The Spartans didn't fight for personal glory, they fought for their city-state, Sparta. The concept of sacrifice for the greater good was ingrained in their culture. For the Spartans, dying in battle was the highest honor. They believed that warriors who fell in battle were the true heroes, and this sense of duty permeated every part of Spartan life. Spartan women, too, were given a unique role in their society. They were trained to be strong and resilient, as they were the ones who had to carry on the Spartan legacy while their husbands and sons fought. Spartan women were educated, independent, and had rights that were not afforded to women in most other Greek city-states. The legacy of the Spartans continues to inspire military organizations around the world. Their commitment to teamwork, brotherhood, and sacrifice is seen in the modern military's emphasis on unit cohesion and the importance of training soldiers to operate as a single, unified force. Finally, we arrive at the Mongols. If the Spartans were the embodiment of discipline, the Mongols were the masters of speed and adaptability. The Mongol Empire, led by Genghis Khan, became the largest contiguous empire in world history, stretching from China to Eastern Europe. What made the Mongols so formidable was their ability to move quickly, strike with precision, and adapt to every situation they faced. Born in the rugged steppes of Mongolia, Genghis Khan was raised in a harsh environment. From a young age, he learned the art of survival and the importance of unity. Genghis Khan's true genius was in his ability to unite the Mongol tribes, who were previously fractured and at war with one another, into a single, cohesive fighting force. By overcoming personal adversity and uniting a vast and diverse region, he laid the foundation for an empire that would change the course of history. The Mongol army was based on mobility and speed. Mongol warriors were master horsemen, capable of riding and shooting arrows with incredible accuracy. Their cavalry, often consisting of thousands of men, could cover vast distances in a short time, allowing them to surprise and overwhelm their enemies. Their tactics were unconventional but highly effective, often using feigned retreats to lure enemies into ambush. The Mongols were also incredibly skilled in siege warfare, a skill that helped them conquer fortified cities across the world. They used advanced siege weapons like trebuchets, catapults, and gunpowder to breach city walls. But it wasn't just brute force that made them successful in these operations. The Mongols were highly strategic, carefully studying their enemies' defenses and adapting their tactics accordingly. Genghis Khan's ability to lead his armies was unparalleled. His leadership was marked by an incredible understanding of human nature. He rewarded loyalty and punished betrayal, but he was also known for his ability to unite people from different cultures and backgrounds under his rule. The Mongols didn't just conquer, they integrated. They established a system of laws known as the Yasa, which ensured order and fairness across their vast empire. As the Mongol Empire expanded, Genghis Khan's successors carried forward his vision. Under his grandsons, the Mongols swept across Europe and Asia, establishing one of the most extensive empires in history. The empire was known for its extraordinary speed in conquest, with armies able to travel up to 60 miles in a day, a distance that was unheard of for medieval armies. One of the most famous Mongol conquests was the siege of the city of Baghdad in 1258. The city, once a thriving center of learning and culture, was reduced to rubble by the Mongol forces. The brutality of the invasion shocked the Islamic world, as the Mongols were relentless in their pursuit of victory. Yet, even in their destruction, the Mongols left behind a legacy of cultural exchange and trade that would influence generations to come. What set the Mongols apart from other empires was their ability to incorporate conquered peoples into their army and society. The Mongols were not interested in simply subjugating lands. They sought to absorb knowledge, technology, and cultures that would make their empire stronger. They encouraged trade along the Silk Road and allowed ideas and innovations to flow freely across their empire, creating an environment of cultural exchange that helped shape the medieval world. Despite their reputation for fearsome conquest, the Mongols were also pragmatic. They were often seen as merciless warriors, but they had a deep understanding of the importance of maintaining stability. Under their rule, infrastructure improved, trade flourished, and cultures mingled. The legacy of Genghis Khan and his Mongol warriors is not just one of destruction, it is one of transformation, bridging continents and civilization. The ninjas, Spartans, and Mongols, three warrior classes, each with their unique approach to combat, warfare, and legacy. The ninjas, masters of stealth, remain symbols of mystery and fear, their influence seen in modern special forces. The Spartans, epitomizing strength, discipline, and sacrifice, set the standard for military training and unity. And the Mongols, the unstoppable cavalry led by Genghis Khan, reshaped the world through speed, strategy, and conquest. Though centuries have passed, the legends of these warriors continue to inspire. Their stories are more than just historical accounts. They are lessons in bravery, discipline, and the pursuit of victory against overwhelming odds. Whether through the shadows, the front lines, or the sweeping steppes, these warriors have left an indelible mark on the world, forever etched in the annals of history. Thank you for watching this deep dive into the most fearsome warrior groups in history. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content on history's greatest warriors. Which warrior group do you find the most fascinating? Let us know in the comments below. Until next time, keep exploring the world of legendary warriors.